Rise Endgame. It's these early days before our first content update in which we've had time to test out all the weapons and try different switch skills and meld the wrong talismans. And while I've been playing post-story completion, there has been a few things that I've learned that I kinda wish I knew a little sooner. So, welcome back to Rage Gaming, my name is Hollow, and here's 5 things you might not know yet in Rise. I'll start strong with something that affects all players, and something that really everyone needs to know. The ability to transfer weapon skills from one weapon to another. Yeah, I had no idea this was a thing, and I think a lot of people still don't. You see, all weapons come with their selection of rampage skills, right? With the ability to choose one from the list and apply it. In my current longsword's case, the Deepest Night, the Nagakuga longsword, I have the choices of Attack Boost 3, Affinity Boost 2, and Master Rider. Now, obviously, Attack Boost and Affinity Boost are pretty incredible choices, so I could choose between one of those, but maybe your fully upgraded weapon doesn't quite have good options. Well, luckily, there is a way to transfer skills from one weapon to another. Let me show you how. Take a look at this ridiculous gun lance. It'll come up later, but anyway, this is the Guild gun lance. At the max upgraded version, it has Affinity Boost 3, Anti-Aquatic Species, and Spirit Bird doubled. What I'd like to have on this gun lance instead of any of those options would be Worm Stake Boost. The weaker version of this weapon, pre-fully upgraded, does have Worm Stake Boost. So, because of that, perfect, all I need to do is bring that skill forward to the fully upgraded version. To do so, you need to work out what rampage skill it is you want, right? In my case, Worm Stake Boost. And then, once you're at that weapon grade that has that skill, unlock and apply that rampage skill before continuing to upgrade it. Now that it's unlocked and applied, it will come forward with you as you upgrade it to the final version. So if you don't unlock and apply it when it's available on that current grade of weapon, it won't come forward at the final grade. Another example of this would be, say, with the greatswords here. We have the Kamura cleaver, which can have attack boost on it, and then the axe blade, which cannot. So we just put the attack boost on the Kamura cleaver. Now that rampage skill is active, we then upgrade the weapon into the axe blade, and sure enough, there it is, attack boost on an axe blade. The main catch with this is that the two weapons need to be within the same tree, which does limit your options of what potential rampage skills you can find, but it's still certainly a lot more than the 3 or 4 that you will have on that final upgrade by default. In the case of this gun lance, it only has the 3 weapons connected in this tree, so only a certain amount of available rampage skills, but if this were, say, the ore tree, well then you can see there's a lot of weapons connected here, and therefore rampage skills I can choose between. Moving on to the next tip then, this second one's all about dangos. As we know, we can choose 3 dangos to eat for the next hunt, providing us with various skills if they activate. The percents on these are pretty good, like 70 to 90%, but often some of these skills won't activate, and these skills can be really important if you're farming materials or taking on a really tough hunt. Instead of relying on chance that the skills will activate, just use a Dango ticket. This way, it's guaranteed that you'll get those skills you wanted. Now, no doubt you'll have some Dango tickets by simply playing the game like I did, but that isn't always going to be enough to always have one ready. There is a way to have infinite tickets, however, so you always have one available when you want it. Just use the Motley Mix option, and from here you can use meat, fish, or monster parts to get steaks, rations, and other items, alongside lots of Dango tickets. I recommend using points to do this because it's so easy to get thousands of points if you use the point farming strat. Luckily, I just made a video guide on how to get yourself roughly 40,000 points in like 10 minutes. If you want to check out the detailed explanation of that, definitely watch the video, but the short end of it is that you need to go to the Hub Expedition Lava Caverns during a local items upsurge event. During an upsurge, you get way more points from all the point nodes, and there's a really simple and effective path to just follow and go mine all those nodes in that video guide. TLDR for this video is just head right from the camp and mine all the nodes along the track leading down into the caves and then up until the secret cave at the top, and then a short loop around subcamp 1 and 2 before repeating the route until the upsurge ends after roughly 10 minutes. This way you can get yourself an easy 40,000 points in like 10 minutes and then spend them like mad to get lots of Dango tickets and always have the skills you want. Plus, it's so nice having loads of leftover points for everything else in this game that does use the points, which is actually quite a lot of things. Our third topic in this quick list has to be about the dreaded power and armor charm upgrades. Yeah, they're back. Maybe you're a new hunter to Rise or simply didn't realize they're back. But either way, you can buy your power and armor charms from the merchant once again. While these 2 charms are in your pouch, you'll have a slight damage output buff and a slight damage resistance buff, which means you have to have these in your pouch at all times forever. It gets worse though, because yet you can still upgrade them, turning the charms into the power and armor talons, which are basically the same thing but slightly more effective. You can simply craft these 2 items with your respective power and armor charms, and then 1 Ibushi Claw Plus each. This is achievable as soon as you've had 1 successful rampage mission with Ibushi, since from that you should have the 2 claws you need. Now you've crafted your power and armor talons, congrats, you can now purchase another set of power and armor charms from the merchant again. Because yeah, it stacks, they slightly increase the damage done and reduce damage taken, you need to do it. This is just something that we have to do in all the Monster Hunter games, giving up 4 of our slots in our pouch permanently because these items are just ones you can't ignore. Like I said though, if you've played any other Monster Hunter games, you probably know about this system and how we always seem to have to do it, but for those who didn't, make sure you get them. For number 4 then, I want to talk about the new and pretty hilarious looking weapons found in Rise. I'm talking about the weapons like the incredible teddy bear hammer or the ingenious origami switch axe. In Rise, we certainly have a few comical weapon designs for a bit of fun, but if you're not aware, some of these weapons are pretty legit, often having solid stats and potential output. In fact, one of these weapons could be one of the best wide-shelling gun lances in the game currently, so don't ignore them just because they look silly. To unlock these silly side weapons, you need to unlock the designs, and to get those, you need to complete the various blue requests the villagers will be offering you throughout the story. There's quite a few of these, and you can check on all of them in your side quest menu and then just look at requests. In many cases, it's easy. Just go capture a specific monster, which you might have even accidentally done already, and that'll unlock the recipe, or maybe just trade some monster parts. There are a few more specific and intentional requests though. For example, for the teddy bear hammer, you need to take a picture of a sleeping Azuros, which is probably not going to happen naturally. So check your side quests, see what you need to do, and go complete some silly side stuff. If you're wondering about that awesome wide-shelling gun lance, that is the one we were looking at earlier, the mighty corn popper under the guild tree. With wide shelling at level 5, this is a solid wide shelling option, even if it is a very silly looking weapon. The only downside is the rampage skills. The final version doesn't have that worm stake boost, but as I showed earlier, you can use that transfer technique and still get that skill on the fully upgraded weapon. Alright, for my last and 5th thing to know about, this is about your precious Palamute, because I think you should consider giving him up every now and then. The movement Palamutes provide are incredible. The utility of being able to move and use items like a whetstone is wonderful, but Palakkos are kind of OP in Rise right now. Like, they're really good, and you can have 2 of them at once. There's 4 types of Palakkos, and one of them is the Gatherer type. At level 20 and above, gathering Palakkos have the skill Pilfer, which quite literally steals materials from monsters. So maybe you're farming the final boss for materials to meld talismans like everyone else. Take 2 Gatherer Palakkos. I don't know, maybe you're farming any monster in the game for any part that it has. You should take 2 Gatherer Palakkos. Yeah, you'll move around the map a little slower, but only a little bit. The wire bugs are actually very effective for traveling, but yeah, I know, I love my Palamute too. Ultimately, Gatherer Palakkos are crazy strong and should be used whenever you're farming any materials. It's really important to know that. But on the other hand, the other support types of Palico are legit. Joshua's made a whole video about the many different things you can do with Palikos and how strong they are. Definitely check that out if you're interested. And while I'm talking about Palikos, I should absolutely let you know about the Feline Cataclysm weapon that you should really be running on your Palikos. It is a pretty nicely started weapon, but it has sleep element on it, and it's basically the best one that you can get. You do need to unlock this one by going to the sort of shrine by the tree the Kohoot's nest is on, and this is unlocked once you progress the game to a certain point through the story. If you're at endgame, you should have done this by now, but there's a glowing blue scroll for you to go grab, and that unlocks this weapon. Pretty nice to have. Pretty effective weapon. But there you have it. 5 things that I've learned during my time in endgame Monster Hunter that I definitely think you guys should be aware of. Be sure to hit like if this video has helped you in any way, and if you have a good tip for endgame, maybe not included in this video, drop it in a comment. You might just help someone. Until next time then, I've been Hollow, you've been you. Thanks for watching.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice. To reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.